gonna be honest. I don't believe there's another scenario or another situation for Russell Westbrook or James Harden right now. And I know that might sound crazy to some. Some will get it. I believe James Harden and Russell Westbrook, this is their second time playing together. Now they're in Houston together. I believe they were made to play with each other. I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but I genuinely believe it. I actually think they balance off each other decently. Did it work in the playoffs? No. But I'm not going to just blame James Harden and Russell Westbrook for their lethargic performances coming up short, losing to the Lakers in 5 games, did the Rockets this year. I'm going to say that the Rockets need to go out and get a coach that will look them in the eye and say, no, you're not taking that shot. You're going to play defense. You're going to get to the rim. We're not going to shoot 58 threes a game. No, Russ. No, Harden. No. Enough is enough. You want to be losers the rest of your life? That's what happens when coaches tell you yes and make the Hall of Fame for it. I'm going to tell you no. I think they need to go out and get a starting big man. Daryl Morey, you're a smart guy. You're an analytical guy. You're a numbers guy. Well, I don't care what numbers you got. Here's a number that you need to realize, right? Since you're an analytical guy. 5. You got your ass kicked by the Lakers in 5 games. You need to go get a starting center. All this play PJ Tucker to 5 mess is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Stupid. You ain't gonna win that way. I don't give a damn what number you got, Daryl Morey. You're not winning taking on the Lakers, and Anthony Davis is damn near a whole foot taller than your starting big man. You're not winning. Sorry. Someone had to say it. And with that being said, I think James Harden and Russell Westbrook are stuck like Chuck with each other. I don't believe there is any interest in Russell Westbrook as your starting point guard, because to be real with you, if you're a bad team, you don't want Russell Westbrook because he works so hard and he's so great at going hard, he'll win you too many games. You'll be better off going with a younger guard with a higher ceiling at this point in their careers, who will lose you a lot of games, but at least he could learn while he's losing, and you can stay in the lottery position. If you're a good team looking to get great, or a great team looking for one more piece, first off, Russell Westbrook's making $45-some million a year. His contract is not good. It's an extra year on that bad boy. And also, Russ don't listen. I think it's childish how Russell Westbrook over his career has allowed, he's watched guys in the league, and this is a real thing, right? There are all-stars in this league that think that Russell Westbrook is just comical. As great as he is, as talented as he is, and I believe Kevin Durant is one of them. I don't know that personally. I've never had a convo with Kevin Durant personally, but there's a reason why he left Oklahoma City. That man left and went to a team that beat him in the playoffs. See, we always just give KD the blame for that, and he deserves the blame to a degree, but I think part of it is he was so pissed off at Russ. He was like, yo, not only do I gotta get away from this guy, I gotta go somewhere where I know I'm gonna win, to get that stanky stench out of my mouth of playing with a ball hog who didn't understand I'm Kevin Durant. Like, Kevin Durant really left Russell Westbrook in his prime. That really happened. He just walked away from him and said, bye, I'm out of here, deuces. And you still won't change your game. You won't conform. You won't fit in. You won't stop taking 25 bad shots a night. You still taking threes. You still wide open from the 3-point line. Like, what's got to give here, man? So I don't think any team's interested in Russ. And I don't believe, and I know as great as James Harden is, I don't believe there are a lot of teams interested in James Harden. I know that one sounds crazy. Former MVP. Dude's going to be in the MVP conversation every year. Matter of fact, third in the MVP conversation this year. I don't believe there's going to be a lot of interest in him either. Because if you bring in Harden, what's he going to do? Go back to off the ball? I don't see James Harden playing off the ball at any point in his career anymore. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. And I think James Harden playing the shooting guard position would be great. You get him some wide open looks. Like, yo, James Harden's last 4 or 5 years of his life, the brother barely gets open looks because he's playing off the dribble. Wouldn't it be nice if Harden had a point guard that, you know, could actually get him the ball in transition and get him some open looks off the, off the wing. Harden doesn't have the responsibility of creating and scoring for his team on every possession. Wouldn't that be great? Like actually playing the shooting guard position, not being the point guard and playing off ball a couple possessions of the game, like actually being off the ball more times than not. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? That seems like a match made in heaven for Harden right now. I don't see a lot of teams wanting to trade for Harden because what do you do with him? Unless you're one piece away and he's the piece that fits your system, who's going to want to change their entire system to fit him? And Harden's an incredible talent. One of the best shooting guards of all time if he didn't play another game today. But I don't see a lot of teams interested in him. And I think that sets up the whole James and Russ are stuck with each other. This is what happens when you drive away a Chris Paul, a Kevin Durant, a Paul George, a Dwight Howard. This is what happens. You didn't drove away so many Hall of Famers, first ballot. The only other first ballot Hall of Famer you got is ironically each other. And all these guys around the league, every time you ask them about Russell Westbrook and James Harden, all they gonna do is lip service you to sleep. All they gonna do is tell you, yeah, James Harden's one of the greatest scorers of our generation. Russell Westbrook, that dude, don't nobody work harder than him. He that dude is a triple-double monster. And yes, those things are true. But there are buts to him. And you'll never hear these athletes tell the but because it's not in the best interest of friendships, relationships, and business. You never know what's going to happen. There's a but to James Harden is one of the greatest scorers of all time. There is a but to Russell Westbrook is one of the hardest working athletes of all time. James Harden is one of the greatest scorers of all time. But he always wants to play on the ball. But he lacks the clutch gene. But he has came up small in big time moments. But he doesn't seem like he wants to shoot in big time games. Russell Westbrook is a hard-working triple-double machine. But he doesn't want to listen to any coach. But he does his own thing for possessions at a time. But he goes and reroutes and does his own plays. But he also ran away Kevin Durant. That is just as much a part of these gentlemen's legacy as anything great that they've done. And that's unfortunate because these are two all-time talents. And I hate to say this to all my Houston fans out there. You thought it was rough this year. I don't see nothing but more of this coming. James Harden and Russell Westbrook are stuck like Chuck with each other.
It's my one life, and I give it everything I got. I am music. I am sports. I am the culture.